So once I realised I'd done 3 to 10 instead of 10 to 3, then I had to pour everything out of the moulds and clear up and clean up. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Team Pish Crafts, and I hope you're doing okay. Now, I've never ever used Jesmonite. I've never used any of the resin type opaque things like eco pores. That's what they're called, eco pores. I've never tried them. I've seen Claire do lots, and I've seen her at the beginning stressed because they were quite quick, and I think that was what was putting me off. But JDiction contacted me and said they were bringing out their new RESINCRETE. Now, they also contacted Claire, and Claire was like, yes, give it here, let's try it. And I was like, yeah, try it. I've got nothing to compare it to because I've never used it before. I'll give it a go. So they sent me some, and I had it sitting on my worktop for a good few weeks before Claire put her video up. And that gave me the encouragement to try it. So I thought I'd show you what this RESINCRETE is like from a beginner's point of view, because I've never used anything like it. So let's have a look from a beginner's point of view what it's like. This is JDiction's RESINCRETE. It's an eco pour. It's water based. The mixing ratio is 10 to 3 by weight. It's a 30-minute demold. It can be painted, and it's a natural product. I do have a discount code for JDiction, which is 10% off at the checkout. It's on the screen, and it's also in the description box below the video. But to start with, I made an error. Quite a big error, actually. If I'd have carried on, it would not have cured.
100 grams of water, 30 grams of powder.
So this mixing ratio was the wrong way round. Now, in my head, all that powder had to go into the water. So it couldn't be the other way round because there was far too much powder to go into 30 ml of water. Now, Claire did say it was runny, and I was surprised how runny it was. But what do I know? I've never used it before. So I went back and I watched Claire's video again, and I realised I'd done it the wrong way round. What would we all do without Claire? So once I realised I'd done 3 to 10 instead of 10 to 3, then I had to pour everything out of the moulds and clear up and clean up. Now, I decided to leave this in the video so that you can see that no one's perfect and everyone makes mistakes, some of them very silly.
Okay, this time we've got 30 grams of water and 100 grams of powder. So let's try again. So it was too watery.
So to me, I'm still thinking, how can it be watery with all this powder going into that small amount of water? But bit by bit, it went in and it disappeared. And there wasn't any bumps, there wasn't any lumps. And although it looks as like I'm stirring for my life, I'm really not. I'm just stirring quite normally. The pigments that I'm using were gifted to me. As I've never used Jesmonite, I was gifted quite a lot of Jesmonite things from Desaria, a very lovely subscriber who is having a huge sort out. And these are homeware pigments. Now, I don't know how old they are. I don't know how long they've been sitting, but they still work beautifully. They're the only pigments I had that would work with this eco RESINCRETE. Now that I've poured the right amount of water in the mix, there's only enough for 2 moulds. So don't be like me and mix it correctly. 10 parts powder to 3 parts water, not the other way round. So I got the Alexa lady sitting in the corner to set a timer for 30 minutes. And 30 minutes later, it was time to take these pieces out of the moulds. Now, I understand that they are fragile at this point, but they are beautifully solid, and only 30 minutes later and they're done. I'm really surprised how smooth the surface is. And there's no bubbles in them. I can't see any bubbles anywhere. So once my first trial was out of the way, I decided to go bigger. And this time I'm measuring out by weight in a bowl. And I'm using 300 grams of powder to 90 grams of water.
Okay, are we ready for this?
I don't think I needed to use these big bowls because I could have mixed this in a cup and I think it would have been a lot easier. But to me, again, see, I was going to get a lot of volume. There's a lot of powder here going into the water, but the powder doesn't actually increase the volume very much. I have noticed that. So once all the powder had gone into the mix, then I did transfer it to a cup, and I did find that easier, a lot easier. I'm using Amethyst from Homeware Designs now. Beautiful purple, look at that. I only wish I'd gone a little bit deeper with it and put more colour in it. But it's a gorgeous purple colour. And yes, I'm using the turtle mould. I had no clue if I'd made enough here. I just had my fingers and toes crossed and literally just about had enough. So 300 grams of powder, 90 grams of water. That's enough for the Temu turtle mould. When that lady in the corner told me the 30 minutes are up, I couldn't wait. And when I turned it over, the first thing I noticed was a little bit of spare RESINCRETE. I had no clue where that came from. Now Claire always says to demold she turns things over. So that's what I'm doing. I didn't want to damage the turtle, so I took it very gently. But it came out absolutely beautifully. No bubbles at all, and it picked up all the detail of the mould. And then I realised the little bit was the extra bit of the tail. But I could sand that bit down so it doesn't matter. And I love it. And you can paint these, remember? So I've got absolutely beautiful coloured purple turtle and I do love it. Now Claire says to put things up on a rack to dry them. As they have to dry out for 24 hours, that's what I did. But I had a few more questions and one of them was, does it pick up mica? So I grabbed some of Emma's micas, which is the tiny toner, and her chameleon pigments. They are amazing. Check out the video in the top right hand corner if you haven't seen that one. This colour is Poison and I'm just going to cover the entire mould in one colour. That's it. I'm not doing anything fancy. I need to know where the RESINCRETE actually picks up the mica powder itself. So once that's all done, you can see that this colour is absolutely stunning. I know it's on a pink mould, but it is stunning. Now for the rose, I'm going to use Nether. This is a fantastic, deep, rich blue. Love this colour. And for the elephant, I'm going to use Inferno. That was the one I used on the turtle. Goodness me, that is bright and red and gorgeous. So I've mixed up the RESINCRETE and I'm just going to fill up these moulds. Now my way of thinking is that RESINCRETE will pick it up. We'll pick up the mica and there will be no problem whatsoever. But I needed to do the test because when I use my silicone sheet inlays, mica is a big factor in that. The colour on the sheet is the big thing. So I've added some latte to this RESINCRETE. It's one of Claire's favourite colours. And I'm still not 100% sure how to work out how much I need to make up. And I was a little bit short, so I made up a little bit more, added some more latte and filled up the rose with that one. Still wasn't quite to the top, but it did the job. I just want to quickly say hello and welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining my little channel. And thank you also for those that have been with me for a while. I really appreciate it. So just 30 minutes later and we can demold and have a look at what we've got. Now, first impression is wow. It picked up all the mica and it looks absolutely stunning. The flower was a little warm still, so I left that one till last. But look at that owl. It is gorgeous. So at this point, I thought everything was going fine. I thought the mica was stuck to the RESINCRETE. But when it got to the flower, but this is where I started thinking, why am I covered in mica colour? It picked up some of the colour on the edge parts, but a lot it didn't. It still looks gorgeous, but not what I wanted. Now, Claire always says that you need to seal your Jesmonite or your eco pores, and as it happens, in the gift package that I got from Desaria, there was a Resinate bottle of sealing it. Now, I know Resinate as a company doesn't exist anymore, and I don't know how old this is, but I thought I'd use it as it's the only one I had. So after spraying the elephant with the sealed in and brushing it with a brush, and then moving on to the heart, I realised that the brush had picked up some of the colour from the elephant, so I wiped the brush. It didn't occur to me that the colour was actually coming away, and later I discovered that it's actually not on there at all. It's literally just sitting on the top, and with a rag I accidentally wiped some off. So then I thought, well, I'm going to have to do some more because I can't have it patchy. So I sprayed it and dabbed it, and all the colour came off the top and left all the mark on the detail of the mould, which actually looked really good. It wasn't what I was going for, but at least I now know. So that the colour stayed there. And I try not to touch the owl too much at all so that the colour did stay on it. But I thought I'd give it a UV resin top coat. So I got some Let's Resin UV resin and the little Itoso resin curing lamp, which I'm trying out at the moment. And I will be putting a video up on that, on how I found it in the last few weeks. So I gave this elephant about 3 coats of UV resin, not actually knowing whether that would stay or whether it would just come off. But as it was, I really liked the way the colour has sat in the deep parts. So I needed to keep it if I could. So then I decided to put a large amount of UV resin on the rose. So the rose was my least favourite, so I decided to sacrifice the rose in the name of science. And once it was completely cured, I tried really hard to dislodge it, to get it off of the rose. And as hard as I tried, it was not budging. So apart from using a hammer and chisel, I think it's pretty much safe. So there was one thing left for me to try. I wanted to make a flower pot. I've seen Claire make loads of flower pots and I really wanted one. So I found a flower pot mould on Amazon. It will be linked in my Amazon storefront, which is at the bottom of the description. And I made up what I thought was the right amount. I put some really nice purple pigment in it and I poured it in. Now, bearing in mind, I did actually measure this mould with water to find out how much I needed. And I took into consideration the powder and the water, and I still got the amount wrong. So 20 minutes later, I made up some periwinkle colour and I poured that on the top. I thought that must take it to the top of the mould. No, it was still short. By this time I had very little powder left. So after another 20 minutes, I made up the very last bit of powder, the RESINCRETE that I had. With the right amount of water, I added the purple in again and I poured it in. There's nothing else I could do. It still didn't reach the top though.
Okay, 30 minutes is up.
So I knew I wouldn't get the full detail of the base of this mould. At least I would have a flower pot, albeit with a flat bottom. It came out of the mould really quite easily and I love it. I absolutely love it. It feels like a proper bought flower pot. It is gorgeous. And even though the top part of that flower pot was in a mould for nearly an hour, it didn't sweat at all. So in summary, what do I think of RESINCRETE? It's pretty much bubble free. I think I saw one bubble in one of the pieces I made, and that was because I did the layers in the last piece. It's easy once you get the right mixing measurements. It's quick, it takes half an hour to demold. And then you just put it on the side on a rack. It feels like terracotta. It feels kind of ceramic. It's a ceramic. That's all it is. It's ceramic. It's not a resin. Do I like it? Yeah, I do. It's definitely got its applications, without a doubt. I will put a link in the description box below, and don't forget the Toonpish 10% discount code if you want to try this. It's a lot of fun as well. I really enjoyed playing with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope you've got something out of it. Come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting, and bye for now.